Hello and welcome to Tribute Tuesday, edition 3. It is October 1st, 2019, and this is where you get all the news about the ecosystem of rDAI and Tribute. To lead things off today, Pat Gallagher is here. I'm Victor Rortvedt. Pat, what do you got?
First up is Gitcoin grants. Right now we are in round 3 of the matching grants program. And what that means is that there's $100,000 of money that is available for matching community projects. And it is using a quadratic donation system, which means that small number of donations have a larger impact on the amount of matching funds that is given. For instance, right now, if you were to donate $1, you would the project would receive almost 200 in matching donations, which is crazy. So if you could tweet about this project and share it, that would be really nice. And if you give $1, it's like 200. That's a no-brainer, right? Right now we have about 100 people have contributed, which is why the matching is so high for rDAI, and we need to keep that steam going. And we have almost $1,100 in matching right now, just from $11,000 just from this 100 people alone giving, less than 4,000, right? So altogether, it looks like there's going to be a lot of funds that are going to be able to be used to build out the smart contracts, to build a community, to host meetup events and things like that. And speaking of funding, we spoke with the rDAI team earlier today, and they're planning on creating a community forum where the discussions around where these funds can be spent, and discussions around the technical concepts of rDAI will be held. And so we'll post you details about that forum once it's set up. But that will be a nice place to go and participate in the decision making for how this grant money is being spent. So appreciate all of you that donated, and if you haven't yet, I would encourage you, just give $1. It's really easy. Thank you. Next up is the DeFi.WTF. So that is an anti-networking DeFi discussion all about the philosophy and the spirit of DeFi, and not so much about individual projects or like shilling or networking events. So this is going to be legit. I can already tell. We are going to go. It's on the 7th before DeFi or before DevCon, starting at 10 a.m. Although I see something at 9. But that is going to be in downtown Osaka, like pretty close to city center. The lineup for the talks, like I said, they're not focused on projects. They're focused on let's talk DeFi. Let's really dive into the concepts and the philosophy of how a world would work that functions with DeFi. So that's going to be very interesting. They're also this is a pop-up collective, right? So it's not the organization needs funding if you're interested in donating to that project as well. They're doing DeFi.WTF.eth is the address. The organizers are doing an excellent job, and they need all the support they can get. They're also doing 2 other interesting experiments at the event. One is the DeFi billboard based on harbinger taxes, which, again, this quadratic concept comes into play. That's like the term of the week or something, where you can essentially post your image or your advertising on the billboard, and it will display so long as you pay the harbinger tax and nobody outbids you. So at any time, somebody can steal that from you and post theirs up there. And then also there is a kind of a lightning talks round, and we've submitted a talk to that, and there will be quadratic voting, which when individuals vote with the single vote, I'm not sure how the quadratic voting will work, so you'll just have to find out. The details on that will be released soon, so we hope that you will vote for our talk, which will be on the psychology of money and what it feels like to pay with free money, right? So it's not about really our token. It's not about Tribute. It's, this is about the concepts and the psychology, like what would a world look like when, how does that feel to pay in these alternative methods in a DeFi-based world? So we hope you'll come. That's 10 a.m. on the 7th near City Center in Osaka. That's it for me, Victor.
Yeah, so DeFi.WTF is like the opening band that is going to be incredible for the headliner that is DEF CON 5. So obviously there's a lot of great talks, a lot of amazing speakers. There's going to be all kinds of cross-pollination of ideas there. I can't go through obviously what are all the things that I'm excited about for DEF CON, but there are a couple things that are, I think, relevant to the DeFi universe, particularly rDAI and Tribute on top. On day 2, Rune Christensen, who's the founder of MakerDAO, is going to be giving a talk at 3:10 in A1, which is one of the main stages, titled "What's Next for DeFi?" And while that sounds a little bit innocuous, the fact that it's Rune, the fact that it's on A1 means that it's probably going to be significant. I would tune in for that one. There's probably going to be some really interesting announcements about what multi-collateral DAI, which is the next phase of DAI that Maker is moving towards, is going to look like, and really also help frame the way that we think about where DeFi should be headed and where DAI should be headed. Maker is the granddaddy of DeFi in Ethereum, and the thoughts of its executive team and its founder are always very important to figure out sort of where can we take this thing next? What are the things to help us get there? So definitely tune in for that one. Another one on day 4 that I think would be worth looking at is there's a panel on stable coins. They haven't yet announced who's going to be participating in that. It's in A2 at 11:10. But this could be an interesting opportunity to kind of go over some of the same things that DeFi.WTF was talking about and figure out where the stablecoin universe is going now that we have all kinds of layers built on top of it. With that primitive there, it really opens up a lot of financial tools and powers, and it's one to check out. So we're going to be there, Pat and I, and if you want to find us, you can find us by knowing what we look like or because we'll be wearing Tribute t-shirts. Look at how cool that looks. On the back it says "Number Never Go Down," but I'm not going to show you that. You'll have to prove that I'm not a liar by finding me in real life at DEF CON if you're there. So come say hi if you're interested in Tribute or rDAI. We would love to talk to you about both those things. We're also going to be rocking these sweet t-shirts representing the rDAO and rDAI project. So if you see us in either one of those two and you are curious about those things, do not be shy. Come talk to us. And one of the things we're going to ask you is, do you want to see a demo of Tribute? Because we're going to have a new version of that coming up. It's going to be a little bit slicker than what we had at ETH Boston. Certainly not the final form. We are not graphic designers, so it's going to be more about cool new functionality. But we wanted to play around with it and show people that are there, get their feedback, and sort of help build out this emergent ecosystem. So ask us about that in Osaka. And if you mention that you watched Tribute Tuesday, I may have a Tribute t-shirt for you if we still have some in stock. So if you watch this, there's some swag that might come out of it. So then the final note that I've got is that we have a plan to have a meetup for the rDAI community in Osaka. Right now, we're not going to go ahead and do a formal thing like they're doing. If you go to Off DevCon, there's a number of different projects that are having events at particular places, particular times. They're a little bit more formalized. We kind of feel like we'd rather do something that's a little bit more ad hoc, maybe something that's immediately after DevCon, maybe something that's in the lobby or the bar of one of the nearby hotels to really just kind of get a place for people that are interested in rDAI to come together and chat. So come to that. If you're interested, we'll be posting about it on Twitter, but look out for a meetup of the rDAI community at DEF CON. So that is it for me.
That's it for Tribute Tuesday. See you guys next week in Osaka. And until then, may your number never go down.
See you later.